Wednesday, 3 September 2025. Setting up for Dragus Productions Wednesday night shows. Got lots to take and set up and get ready for. So Censorship Sucks will be along shortly to do his pre-show, and then we'll get his regular show out at the top of the hour. Hope everybody had a great week. Even got to a little chance to see me last night on World Pirate Radio. I restreamed it here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Gonna get this going here in just a sec. Do. Week. So far, everything's looking like it's going good. I hope the sound quality is much better tonight than it's been. I do endeavor to try to make the quality of the sound and stream as best as I possibly can. But, you know, there are times when that, you know, isn't within our means because of either, you know, software issues or, you know, ISP or whatever. Sometimes it's human error. You know, I do take the hit for that one. Within, and yeah, a little bit of that could have been me. And as I can see, yeah, you know, ISP or whatever, I do have a little bit of that too. But give me a few more minutes and I will get us connected up with Censorship Sucks. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that right now while I do the rest. See if I can get a hold of anybody. I know it's a little early.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Alrighty.
Thank you,
What?
everybody. That is right. I officially own the NFL. I think it's time for some changes. So, for my very first
What are you
change,
listening to?
we're going to be changing the rosters from 53
Mr.
players
Beast.
to 54 and giving that new roster spot to a YouTuber. No, Jimmy, we can't. Well, I already did. Cowboys!
What is this, man?
I have no...
Mr. Beast just just put out a video saying he bought the NFL.
What?
Yeah.
Is he for real?
I don't know. I mean, it's a 3-minute video. I'm about 40 seconds into it. Let's listen to more of it. See what this is. If it's pure.
Hey, it's David Hogg.
Yeah.
How you feeling today, David?
I'm doing better today.
You sound a lot
Good.
better.
How you been, man?
Okay. Did you guys not do an after show on Sunday?
We did, and I
we
tried
did.
to get you in, but it wouldn't let you in for some reason.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't get in, and I didn't get a notification.
Yeah.
It was a shit show, dude. Merc brought in like 50 people, and like I don't know. It was a shit show.
Okay.
I couldn't even talk. Like you can't even talk. It was just
Okay.
Everyone listening to that DK guy just rattle on.
Well, I made sure to remove him this time.
Okay.
I thought I had him removed the last time, but apparently not. And you know, I only wanted to get, you know, like MC and Sonya in, and Roger.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it.
And
Because
the MC guy, started talking about how the Jews did 9/11, and I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. Like, get me out of here. Like, please don't even associate my name with this podcast. I want nothing to do with it. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. Miss anything. Fucking my dog tore off this handle today.
Roger restreaming us today, and Cecilia Adams in the Kick Chat. Here we go, and a lot of others. Big Cat Gaming in Kick Chat as well. And Sickliffe.
So why is Barry bailing on Sundays?
Time constraints, family, stuff like that. He does miss a lot of Sundays, and he'd probably, would miss more if he wasn't obligated to it.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, it is what it is.
That is true. It is what it is.
So Mr. Beast just put out a video saying he just bought the NFL.
Okay.
So I was just listening to that going, what the hell is this? Like, what in the world is he talking about?
How much would the NFL cost? I mean, it's not all the teams, right? It's just the...
Yeah, it's the organization above it, right? Yeah, right. I don't know. I don't know. It's funny. And could he even afford it? There's rumors that the guy's just broke,
Yeah.
Like, he, spends so much money on his videos, he doesn't really make much at the end of the day.
Right. Otherwise he wouldn't be trying to sell substandard children's lunches and sugary energy drinks and,
Chocolate.
Chocolates. Yeah. But hey, the kids go nuts over that stuff. He got them hooked.
Some of his videos are good, others are not, but...
Yeah. The only thing I watched from Mr. Beast was, I guess he had something on Amazon Prime that was kind of like Squid Game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
they had some elimination game thing, so I sat through most of that. That was about it.
Yeah, he did like a replica of the Squid Games.
Yeah, he would fall in little traps. Yeah.
Give away like $1 million to the winner or whatever.
Something like that, or an island, or I don't know what the heck it was.
Yeah. And I think like that's an example of one of those videos that cost him, I don't know how many millions to make that thing, It's set, it to replicate the whole set, like everything.
Yep. Bullhorn Barry is typing about a microphone test.
Oh.
He's like, where am I at?
Just let you know.
Which room are we in, guys?
Yeah.
The one that I rang you guys in? Hold on. I guess he's ready now.
Is he ready now?
So I'm not going to have Brent on tonight, but I'm going to try to get him on Sunday night.
Okay. I didn't get a chance to take and switch the slides over anyways for the after show.
Okay.
I mean the encore.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll come in on Sunday night, then I can just figure out the last half hour on my own, whatever.
Hopefully Yodavation will be in.
Yeah. She just doesn't know anything, though. Her days are... She'd sent me an email the other day. I feel sorry for her, man.
What was that?
Wow, that was quite an echo.
Yeah, that was quite an echo. Are you guys hearing any kind of distortion or sounds in the background? I do have a fan on.
Just heard distortion.
I was messing with you guys, just to let you know. So we're good.
No, Mark, I don't hear a fan or anything.
Okay, good.
How's it going, Barry?
Yeah,
Hey,
all I
Barry.
hear is an unprofessional asshole.
Going well, man.
Good. Man, we got dumped on today, man. We got a ton of rain. Heck, I was looking out at the mountains earlier, and it looked like they were covered in snow, but obviously it was just hail. But there was like a like a layer of snow on the mountains. It was crazy.
Well, we actually had some sunshine today after like 8 days straight of just, no sun. It didn't even come out. It was just global dimming for like 8 days straight here in Tulsa. Intermittent rain. And then all of a sudden, bam, blue skies, not even a single like cloud in the sky. So
Nice.
Kind of weird. Kind of weird how it happens that, And I'm sure they'll be right back to spraying again, and it'll be more global dimming. But, at least you can enjoy 1 or 2 days of blue skies. It's always nice.
Yeah.
I constantly get the hate on mines every time I talk about chemtrails. It really, and it doesn't matter like how many times I post it. They always have to, like, make some snarled remark, and it doesn't bother me because none of that stuff affects me. But it's just kind of funny that that's how they think they want to spend their time. Like that's going to accomplish anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It would be one thing if there was purpose behind it.
Yeah.
But there's no.
Well, I know that they're not going to change your mind about it. That's for sure.
And not going to change the mind of the people, at HHS or what's that just came out on Glenn Beck, the head of, I forget what the department he was. We're talking about that the people that are behind this are upskilling it. So he's literally, doing a pseudo confession that it's already taking place now, and they have plans to upskill it. So they're not gonna convince those people either.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones researching it.
It's it needs to be banned. I think Florida was working to ban it, and a couple other states.
I think we're at like 6 or 7 but none of it. There's like one state I think that banned it in
Florida.
An effective way. Well, no, maybe so. You may be right. But one of them said that low-hanging chemtrails is outlawed. So they've been able to bypass some of the legislation through, because it has to be in a certain level of the atmosphere before it's considered illegal or whatever. That's what I heard. I'm not technical like that, but that's what I heard from people that know more about it than I do. And so they've been able to get away with it. And even so, who's gonna? I don't know. We'll see. I haven't seen anybody. They're still doing it in Florida because I see it on X all the time. People in Florida videotaping and showing it. So I don't think that any of this legislation has done anything more than bring attention to it. I think there's a couple of dozen or more states that have legislation being introduced that has not yet passed. So, we're getting critical mass like never before. And I think the people that don't believe it's happening are the minority now.
Yeah, it's a matter of how you present it,
Well, that's kind of up for debate. A lot of people say that we should use the terms that are more scientific, like geoengineering and solar radiation management. And I do use those terms.
Yeah.
But chemtrail was actually one of the first terms to describe, high altitude aerosol spraying. It was a military term. So it's not non-scientific. It's just tied to the conspiracy theory arena.
Yeah, I swear to God,
Yep.
I have no mercy for flies. Just none. You come in here, you die. I'm sick of trying to give you a way out and all that shit. No, you just die.
They're just flies. They're just flies. Just let them be, man. What's the word?
No.
Land on your nose. Come on.
No.
No, dude, it is. I am paranoid about flies too, as well. Like the other day, I was finished cooking and I was getting ready to put some sriracha sauce on some stuff, and the fly landed on the tip.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And he stood there for a little while before I shoot him away.
He'll move in and make babies there, man.
Well,
he'll just
I don't know if it's true, but I heard they regurgitate or throw up or poop or something whenever they. So I had to clean the tip, man. I just couldn't. I had to go and rinse it and put soap and water on it. It was just like one of those things where, the idea of it regurgitating. Because remember the fly, Jeff Goldblum? Remember that? And
Return the fly. We Vincent Price. Return of the fly. Oh yeah.
Oh, there's that World's Best Food Review channel with that. What's his name? Sonny, I think. You guys must have seen him at some point. But yeah, he was at some place in like Kenya, and oh my God, the flies were just like layers deep on the food. Just open air market with food. Like meat sitting on a table in the sun.
Be right back, guys.
Maybe Bill Gates will like create some genetically modified flies that will like procreate, and then we can have some biblical type. He'll go for some sort of biblical type plague of flies.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, don't put the ideas in Bill Gates' head. He doesn't need any more. He's found enough ways to try to destroy us.
He is definitely trying to destroy us. But
yeah, in a real world, he'd be locked up as a supervillain. But instead he gets to walk free.
Yeah. Well, did you hear where Trump was talking about Gavin Newsom? It's either like today or yesterday, and he was going, "There's something wrong with that guy. Have you seen his the way he moves his arms? Because that's what Bill Gates does. Remember, his arms are always flailing around. That's like a psychopath. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it really is for real. So he was mocking that and saying, he goes, there really is something wrong with that guy. Have you seen the way he moves his hands and his arms?
Yeah.
I noticed it. Actually, he's weird.
And then Gavin caught on, and at one of his little talks, he's like holding his hands together, but you can see one of them keeps trying to pull away while he's talking.
Involuntarily, right? He has no control.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hilarious. He doesn't have to hold his hand down.
That is hilarious. Remember the movie The Hand? That horror movie? That movie, that was like the first scary movie, one of the first scary movies I ever saw. That thing terrified me, man. That hand. Golly, that was...
I don't remember that, but I remember Thing from, the Addams Family?
Right, and that wasn't scary.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the hand? How did the hand come about? Was the guy a writer or something? I can't remember the whole storyline.
I don't remember.
The hand was just a hand, and I mean, for back in the day, I would imagine that was a pretty good special effect for back in the day.
Yeah.
Looking at all that old Star Wars effect, that's pretty impressive for what they had.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a movie. It's like a Blade Runner-esque type of independent film. And like they have no budget whatsoever, but they're just all real talented people. And they put, I'm trying to think, I can't remember the name, but they built all models and stuff and shot through the models. And it looks really impressive, man. I'll have to think, I think it's called Slice. Slice, that might be the name of their company, but it's like a 20-minute Blade Runner type film. And it was well done, man. For a budget,
Oh, so David, man, you sound great. You're on your game. Are you going to join us for some radio time today?
No.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Big.
Well, call it what you want.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah, I don't have the energy, man. I just,
All right. That's what Red Bull is made for, but whatever.
I'm not supposed to have Red Bull. I'm not supposed to have anything.
You get a 5-hour energy, man. Those things are like 2 ounces.
There you go.
They actually work really well too, man.
Yeah. Caffeine,
I'm doing
B12 or whatever.
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't have that jittery energy that you get like out of like an overdose of caffeine,
Yeah,
it's really jittery, and it's very calming, and you're just awake and you're not jittery.
Yep.
They're perfect. Like on a late night road trip, if I start getting tired, that's my go-to right there every time.
I just can't stand the aftertaste. Ugh. 5-hour energies, man. It's like that's nasty tasting stuff.
Not that bad.
All that guarana or whatever it's in there.
Yeah.
Remember the when we were younger, we had no-dose, those little pills?
No
Yeah,
dose.
caffeine
Oh
pills.
yeah.
Those things would get you so jittery, man, that you just like.
I know.
Not me, man. I'd go to sleep. They'd put me to sleep.
Well, we figured
You know, if
out
you
that-
have, I mean, if you have ADD or ADHD in that, and you,
yeah.
it puts you. It does the opposite. So.
Well, Primatine had little
Oh
tablets for
man,
asthma.
Primatine, man, they'll get
Yeah.
you buzzing.
Yeah, come to find out, it's like one of the main ingredients in meth. Yeah, in high school, Primatine, you hassle the asthma kids. Yeah.
Okay, so I actually won. I told you I bought a lottery ticket the other day. I fucking won the 1.3 billion.
Yeah, how much did you win, actually?
$4.
$4. There you go.
I
Yep.
doubled my money. So I
There you go.
parlayed it. I parlayed it and bought 2 more tickets, and now it's big money.
All right.
I got 2 tickets to ride in the big game.
He got 2
Well, you
tickets
should-
to paradise. There you go.
Yep.
Yep.
You should have talked to me earlier. I'd give you my lottery tips. Don't buy the same numbers twice.
Passed it on.
Oh,
to you.
okay.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's actually really smart.
Yeah. I found out the hard way. I took all my retirement savings to buy lottery tickets. And I bought, about 2,000 lottery tickets, but they're all the same number.
You know what a pain in the ass that would be for them to process that? It's like, really?
That's why he did it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, all right,
I
we got
paid for it in
2,000
nickels.
winners. It's all the same guy. We got to do all this paperwork now for days.
Yep. Yeah, at Lucas, we used to pitch in. Everybody in my department, we pitch in by lottery tickets, and then we had to stop because you realize if you guys win, we're going to lose the entire department. We can't do that. Yeah, they wouldn't even let us all in the same elevator at once. Ever since the incident, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want my whole office playing the lottery. That'd be kind of scary. I mean, you know they're not going to win, but still, if they do, you're screwed.
But yeah, in the rare chance they win, you lost all those employees.
Yeah, every single employee you have is gone, except for the 2 people in accounting or whatever that didn't buy in because they know the numbers.
'cause they're
and
smart enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
They actually deal with numbers, so they know there's no chance. It's just
Yep.
stupid tax.
Yep. But
It's
accounting
the
people are
stupid
fun.
tax. Mm-hmm.
The accounting guy at Creative Labs, people ask what he did. He says, when you get your paycheck and sometimes it's got a penny more or a penny less? He goes, I'm the one that determines that. So, he had that power.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sure he was instructed to round it down every single time.
I'm sure he was.
Speaking of power, what happened to you on the after show, man? All I heard was I can't be a part of this. And then you were gone. That was
that guy was talking about how the Jews did 9/11 and
God.
We're like, what's your channel about? And the first thing he comes out with is the first thing he talks about is how the Jews did 9/11. And I was like, oh my God, dude, I can't get a word in edgewise in this group anyway. I'm done. Like, what's the point of sitting here and listening to this crap?
Yeah. I think that's a little out.
The one thing for sure about 9/11 is nobody knows shit. Okay?
Other than it was an inside job.
If you
that.
think you know anything about it, you don't. That's all I know, right? I've seen so much garbage over the years about it that it's like just none of it.
Let's just hypothetically say, and I have my opinions, but I'm not throwing it in there. But let's just hypothetically say that, there was a criminal element within the United States government and other nations, maybe even, criminal elements within Israel. How does that make it a Jew thing? Or how does that even make it an American thing?
Yeah,
because
exactly. It's a criminal element.
These are criminal elements, not all of Israel, not all of America. And so they always just, it's like, and then they're demonizing every Jew. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
and it's just ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I mean,
and there's
like
a difference. And like I explained before, I had a problem with another show on a Wednesday night, the late show, when that same topic came up, and I said, I don't care if we talk conspiracy in that, but when we don't take and name a religion, sure, we can talk about the Khazarian Mafia all we want, all right? Because, sure, they still take labels to hide who they are, all right? But that's different than being a whole religion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we all know it's the Templars' fault, right? Blame the Templars.
I think what's kind of weird and maybe funny in a way is how they think, these people that that the Jews are behind everything. They actually think like they have the esoteric inside story, kind of like David Icke thinks about everything. Everybody else is mainstream alternative media, and only I can connect the dots. Only I have the deep knowledge.
I agree. I totally agree. That's why I don't like, when David Icke first came out, he was kind of cool, but then the more I listened to him, the more it turned me off.
Right.
Yeah. Tim
I don't know,
Pool had someone
and what really turned me off is, hey, I want you on one of my shows. Oh yeah, you have to have X amount of listeners that you can guarantee to us, and it's going to be X amount of dollars for 20 minutes to 25 minutes. I'm like, no, that's not how this works with me. No,
I remember
I don't pay hosts or guests to come in on our shows, and that's just not how it works.
I remember reaching out to I think her name is Jean or something. She's on mine. She's like a porn star. I'm sure you guys have seen her.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Marsha Jean?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I'm doing these interviews on Minds. Would you like to, sit in for one? And she's like, I need security. I need, first class flight and accommodation. And, I'm like, and like $15,000. And I'm like, what are you talking? Like, no, like, it's like, there's no security. What am I going to send you security?
You're going to be at your home.
Yes. Yeah. Security, something online. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. If I'm flying around, okay, that's fine. Like if I'm Tim Pool, then that's maybe a reasonable thing. But I'm not Tim Pool. I'm just, doing interviews on Minds for for maybe a couple hundred people to see. I wonder if any of those are archived up there anymore. I doubt it.
Are they video?
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah, but.
Yep, they're gone.
Which means they're probably gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gone.
'Cause I don't know if I ever.
Are you a Minds Plus or not?
Sometimes.
Okay, yeah, you've probably lost them all if you went 30 days with it. Yeah, because all my videos are gone. It's sad.
Yeah, my Minds Plus didn't renew for whatever reason, and it's all gone. There's no way I'm signing back up for it.
I've said over and over I thought that was a bad idea, but hey, it's they had to do it, they said. But hey, I told Bill when he was on the show, I said, hey, look into H.265 codec because it uses half the space but has the same quality, and that would have cut it in half.
And if nobody has looked at it or liked it for 90 days, then maybe think about deleting something, But it doesn't matter how popular it is, 30 days, whoop, it's gone.
Well, I think people put videos on Minds thinking it was a way to secure things. Like, I'm going to have this forever. I can always access it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll be there forever. That's what I thought.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I should reach out to a Bill or John or somebody and have them on again soon. I don't know, man. I look at that site. It's just a place where I can archive my stories that I want to go over for the next show. I really don't look at it as a whole lot more than that anymore.
Yeah, it's a dying platform. It really is.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
Every now and then we'll get an influx from another nation when they're kind of experiencing some censorship. I noticed that.
Yeah, they need a little free speech. They come to Minds.
Exactly.
Yeah, that used to be a big thing.
Yeah.
What's that?
That used to be a big, regular thing. Like every 6 months, it seemed, every year. So, Vietnam was one.
Yeah, or Thailand or whatever. Yeah. It's different areas.
All right,
which
guys.
is great.
I think we're close enough that we should switch over to the next room.
Okay.
I'll catch you over on the other side.
hang up.
David, I won't ring you because I know
right.
you're low
Bye,
energy
David. We'll
right
see you
now.
later.
All right.
All right. See y'all
Really
later.
good seeing and hearing from you.
No problem, man.
All
Take
right.
care. All right. Bye-bye.
Oh boy. Let me see. Can I get into that room or not? Oh boy. Let's see. Let's see. Do. What the? Let's try this again. Mother. No, let me do that. You son of a bitch. Oh, man. Trying to join. Okay, hold on here. Let me
Okay.
All right. Well, for some reason, someone was in the room before, and I couldn't. It locked it up, and I finally got it back. Sorry about that.
Okay. And there's Barry. Excellent.
Is Brent coming in today?
No.
No, I'm going to try to get him Sunday night.
Oh, okay.
All right. This can be quick. You got 30 seconds.
Okay.
All right, and here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you are live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition for September 3rd, 2025. Folks, fall is upon us. It is September. Tonight, I've got with me Bullhorn Barry. Barry, the summer's waning away. Are you sad? You happy? You looking forward to the fall colors, or you just want 6 more weeks of sunshine?
I like the fall weather, man. It's nice. Put that sweatshirt on, maybe a light jacket at night. Yeah, it's nice, man.
Football season starts,
Mm-hmm.
College football kicking off already. And
Fall leave.
yeah, and the NFL will be going in here soon, and pretty soon, like, all the kids will be back to school, which is great for the parents, I imagine, after so many months of them being home and under their feet all day. Now they can finally put them back in daycare, aka public education, and not have to worry about them all day. So,
sadly, that may be closer to the truth than we know.
oh, it is without a doubt.
Mhm.
It's a slush fund. I mean, we were talking about New York City spending what, 42,000 per kid. You know, that's a slush fund. And teachers complain that they're not paid and they're making, so little money they can barely get by. If you're spending $42,000 per student, right, and you've got what, 30 students in a class, that's 1.2 million per year per class.
Mm-hmm.
And how much does a teacher get? Wouldn't a teacher get a decent chunk of that? 100 grand, 200 grand maybe? No. It all goes to administration, overhead, the food, right? What do they feed them? How much does a school lunch cost?
And I bet you they pay a premium price for that really bad fake food as well.
Well, that's why it's a scam, right? They sell them a can of Spam for $15-20 and they buy it for $2. And that's their cousin or whatever gets the contract for the lunch meat and off you go. Now you're getting rich.
Exactly, man. And with that kind of money spent, we should be pumping out Einsteins, man, but it's not happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 30 kids, $1.2 million budget, and you can't get them all to sit down, shut up, pay attention, and learn.
Yeah. That's
ridiculous. So just a scam, man. It's sad, but it's daycare at best. And, that's kind of, the parents are happy they don't care what it costs. Just send them off. I got to get stuff done. I got to go to work. I can't have them home all year round, which, sadly, again, if you have 3 kids, that's 120 grand a year. If you give that money to mom, she doesn't have to go out and work. She's going to make double what she does at work, just sitting at home teaching the kids how to read and write. What a dream job. What a dream job that would be for 90% of the women in this country.
Yeah. Let's make America great, man. I'm ready for it. I think we're moving fast. And hopefully, with more than 3 more years left, a lot can be done.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. And you talk about 3 more years left. I want to go back in time 3 years ago. Okay, because 3 years ago yesterday was when Joe Biden gave his blood red speech with the Marines in the background.
Yeah, let's call it.
Talked about American.
The V for Vendetta speech.
Oh, it was the most evil thing I think I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
I remember talking to you about it and everything. And I was like, I can't even recall any other world leader making a speech that was that divisive, that evil, that horrific. It was shocking with the 2 Marines standing behind him.
Oh yeah. The way it was staged played into the rhetoric, played into Biden's, dark and demonic looks that were constantly on his face. His, just insane anger that he had, this little outburst where he starts yelling for no reason. I mean, he was always seen as nuts among the right, and I don't know how the left didn't see it.
Mm-hmm. Quoting from Twitchy here, they're saying they this demented husk of a man as a snarling, vengeful avatar to deliver a message to millions of Americans. You are now domestic enemies and will be treated as such. Your political leader is finished, and so is your political power. The deep state tools, the media, everyone, they all cheered along with it. Let me play a clip from this. So if you guys aren't familiar with it, just listen to a short clip of this speech that I try to find Hitler even talking in these types of terms. I bet it'd be hard to do it.
We must be honest with each other and with ourselves. Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Now, I want to be very clear up front.
And clap that.
Not every Republican, not even the majority of Republicans are MAGA Republicans.
Yeah, they are.
Not every Republican embraces their extreme ideology.
Most of them do.
I know, because I've been able to work with these mainstream Republicans.
Oh.
But there's no question that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. And that is a threat to this country.
In that speech, I think he called MAGA a threat to the country, an existential threat to America and democracy and freedom. I don't know, a dozen times or more. It was evil, man. Evil, Barry.
Well, he got disproved, man, because Trump got elected. And who elected Trump? MAGA. MAGA is the predominant force. Notice the key word that he said, that he works with mainstream Republicans. In other words, the status quo, the corrupt establishment. He literally told you exactly who he stood with. And oddly enough, Joe Biden ran on a platform of unity.
Yeah, oddly enough, right? But no, there are definitely, when we talk about the deep state, they're in both parties. I never for a minute I'm going to say, no, no Republican is part of the deep state. Absolutely. Many of them are.
Absolutely.
Look at Romney.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. McCain, Cindy McCain.
Well,
Romney too.
Yeah, Cynthia McCain. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I mean, he works with those people. Of course he does, because there's no difference between the left or the right. It's one and the same. It's the duopoly. It's the two-party system is just one party. Yeah,
the deep state. They're willing to, it doesn't matter who's in power, they're still going to leave the door open. Look at England. How many times has England voted and put people in power that said they were going to stop the immigration train? And no one does, ever. And they keep voting them out. They voted for Brexit. They just keep going on and on and on. We don't want this. And yet they keep doing it. They keep turning it up. They could care less. Finally, we've got a president here in America, Donald Trump, who said enough is enough. And he put an end to it. Like that. Overnight, stopped illegals pouring over the border in a matter of days. When Joe Biden told us repeatedly, Kamala Harris told us repeatedly, that if Donald Trump hadn't blocked that legislation that would have mandated, like 10,000 people could come in a day before they could do anything about it? Yeah, that's not shutting the border. That's opening it wide open. And Trump was against that, as he should have been, as was I, as were you, Barry. We discussed it in detail. It was a horrible bill. And yet, Joe Biden said, hey, if you don't pass this horrible bill, we just can't do anything about it. It's in the legislature's hands. Well, we didn't need a new law. We needed a new president. Donald Trump fixed it immediately. The UK could fix it tomorrow. Right? Real easy. All they got to do is call up France and say, hey, we're not screwing around anymore. Stop it. Cut it out. Patrol your border and stop letting these people get in these boats and head over here. And then when they get there, you give them a new fresh tank of gas, turn them around and say, France is that way. That's your last safe country. Have at it. You're not welcome here. Or deportations. Or you pick them up and just instantly send them down to Uganda or wherever. Somalia, wherever. Off you go. Just boom, instant slingshot back to square one.
Trump talked about how it's incompetence with people like Gavin and these people that, just allow the lawlessness to continue. But I think he's just being politically correct. I think he knows better. I think he knows that these people actually want the chaos, enjoy the chaos, work best out of the chaos, and want to burn it all down. I mean, that's part of the whole goal of the Great Reset. That's why you always saw the symbol of the phoenix at all of these globalist things, is because they want to burn it all down, rise up out of the ashes as the winner and the victor, and remold and reshape the world in their world order.
But man, did we miss a bullet. We've said it a million times, man. Kamala would have been a nightmare. It would have been a continuation of that Dark Brandon theme,
Oh, she was just as dark as he was. I kind of almost think she was Biden 2.0. She probably would have been worse because she was consciously evil. I think a lot of times Biden wasn't necessarily consciously evil. He was just going along because he didn't know any better. But I'm not giving him any, free space here. I think he was pretty dark. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Well, she's just as much of a puppet as Dementia Joe was, right? Dementia Joe didn't even know he didn't even sign anything, right? All these auto pens, people going around his back signing executive orders that he probably had no idea anything about. Why bother even, briefing him on this new executive order? He's just going to forget about it in 20 minutes.
That's my point, is because he wasn't conscious of really what was happening half or more of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. So why even brief him on this? Just sign it with an auto pen, get it out the door, and we'll run with it. The staff will take it from there. So she would be more of the same. She might actually want to sign and read the thing, but she'll read halfway through and say, God, this is boring, and then sign it.
Or she'll come back and she'll say, wow, that's good, but it could sure be a lot more tyrannical. Why don't we add this in there as well?
Yeah, exactly. This should, let's turn it up to 11,
Let's level this thing up, man. Come on.
But yeah, we're showing them how it's done, folks. We are showing them how it's done. What America's going through right now is amazing. When you look at Germany, I mean, they're in a recession right now. They're losing money hand over fist. They're admitting that they can't fund the system as it is. They're starting to admit it. They're saying, look, this thing is not going to work the way we've set it up. Okay, so what's next? 7 people from the AfD, Alternative for Deutschland, which is, Deutschland is Germany. They call it Deutschland over there. We call it Germany. They don't call it Germany. They don't know what Germany is. But yeah, 7 people from that party, Alternative for Deutschland, which is wanting to shut down migration, wanting to, deport people, wanting to cut down on all of the benefits that go to the people that are there that are not citizens, and so on and so forth. And 7 of them mysteriously died of, quote, natural causes in the last week and a half. Now, their election is September 14th, I want to say. But it's coming up here in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. They're having to scramble to put new names on the ballots and all these different things. And it's you go ask Grok what the odds of this happening, naturally, and you get a number like, I don't know, 1 in 40 tripliquillion, times. Some number you've never heard of. 10 to the 9th power, or 10 to the 15th power. It's ridiculous.
It's highly
the odds
unlikely.
of this naturally happening. It's impossible.
Right.
It's impossible. It's possible. I mean, there was one dude who was 80 years old who just passed away the other day, and okay, maybe 80 years old, I get it, but tons of young people, healthy, it makes no sense, and we're expected to just swallow that whole and not question it.
Yeah, and a couple of weeks ago we were talking on the air about how they know they're losing. We were talking about America, but it's the same story all across the globe, right? We were talking about how they know they're losing, and the only way that they can take things back is either by force. And I said that means basically one of a couple of things. One, they cheat and steal, or they try some kind of a coup, which sounds like, in a way, that's kind of both of those things in Germany. So it's sort of their modus operandi. It's their standard operating procedure, because they really have no other card to play, because they just can't win if they, fight fairly and, put their ideas out in the debate field.
Exactly. It's why Donald Trump had 2 assassination attempts on him this summer, right? Mm-hmm. And one of them missed by a 1/10 of a second in a centimeter. Away from killing the guy. 1/10 of a second, he would have been dead. If he hadn't looked over to his right to point at the famous graph.
That beautiful graph.
The most beautiful graph
I've ever seen.
I mean, I doubt he's ever had a tattoo in his life, but if he got that tattooed across his back, I'd be like, that's cool, man. I get it.
That would... Hey, you got to see my beautiful tattoo?
It's the most beautiful graph in the world. It's so beautiful, I had to tattoo it on my leg. I can see it every time I take a dump. It's wonderful.
If it's on his back?
Well, on his leg.
Okay. I was going to say that would
yeah.
Unless he can, I don't know, do something.
Mirrors, man. Lots of mirrors. But yeah, no, they tried it here, man. We think they're, they're not going to kill anybody. Yeah, why not? Their whole power structure is up in arms here. It's going to get upended if they lose this. And I mean, Germany is in big trouble now. they're really starting to come out and show some numbers that are staggering. They're losing money hand over fist. They can't keep borrowing. What are you going to do? Something's got to give. So they can, like, shut down all their social welfare for their own citizens and just pour all that money into hotels, 4-star hotels for migrants. That's going to go over real well. Let's cut off our health care for this, our citizens, and just, if we only give health care to migrants, it won't be nearly as expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Democrats, the left, the globalist deep state, they're showing their true colors. They're telling you exactly who they are. I think we talked about this on the last show about Tim Walz and him saying basically that, many of us woke up wishing basically that Trump was dead. But don't worry, because Trump will be dead soon.
Yeah.
He'll be dead soon enough, or something like that. In other words, that
day will come. Yeah.
It actually alludes to the possibility of something orchestrated even. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really diabolical to say it in the first place. But if you read into it, it could be somewhat coded. And I think that it is. I think they send that message out. Remember, right before Trump was assassinated, there was all of this rhetoric of, him destroying the democracy, and that he would.
Yeah, exactly.
In other words, just hyping up all of this anger towards him. And then next thing you know, someone's trying to kill him. So when I look at something like Tim Walz says, that I find that as a possible threat.
Yeah, it's incitement to violence is what it is, right? And they do that in Germany left and right as well with the AfD. Every time they talk about them, it's, the dangerous far right, nationalist party. In other words, they try to draw them to a modern day neo-Nazi sort of, positions, but they don't have those positions at all. They just look down and see that what's happening is not tenable over the long run. So something's got to give. Something's got to give. I think it was Paul Joseph Watson did a thing on women across Europe that are now dressing differently. Just them talking about how their lives have changed. Like, it's summertime. I've got a skirt on and a, tank top or something as a girl. Obviously not me, but, a girl's got it on. So what she'll do is she'll bring sweatpants and a sweatshirt on a 95-degree day to put it on when she gets on the subway, because if she wears the skirt and tank top on the subway, that's asking for trouble. Women who, work in bars or even go out to a bar on a Saturday night. If it's dark outside, you do not walk there or back, period. In any part of London, is the way it's described to me. You get a cab, because it's just not safe to walk around the city at night, especially, once again, if you're dressed in, say, a skirt and a tank top on a hot summer night. So I could draw example after example after example of, anecdotal evidence, of one post after another out there with women talking about these issues firsthand that they're experiencing. We've seen, there was one we saw where a lady was pushing a stroller with a baby in it, and this dude's like walking up to her, won't leave her alone, kiss me. Like, who does that to a woman pushing a baby stroller?
It's really animalistic, and humans have the ability to have restraint, but apparently some people, they come from other countries, not all of them, but a small or maybe even a larger percentage than that, don't know how to have restraint, don't know how to be a gentleman.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's cultural too. If you're not part of their culture and their religion, then you're fair game. There's no punishment for you. The community won't look down on you at all if you do some pretty awful things, as long as you don't do it to one of their own. It's sad to say, but it is what it is. And we're importing it hand over fist. I mean, I say we, but we aren't anymore. America stopped with this garbage. But look at the EU, London.
Right.
London is just not even a British city. It's not London anymore. It's London Stan.
There was some U.S. government official in Chicago, and I think it was in Politico, one of those leftist media where I saw it, where they said, hey, maybe it was Raskin. I think it was Raskin who said it. He said, hey, crime is it's just part of who we are. As if okay just to have high crime. I mean, these people, like we've said, they're literally telling us who they are and what they stand for, man. That is unacceptable in a civil and safe society, man. Who would say something like that? Who could possibly say that and think there not be any blowback from that?
Well, and I think, you mentioned Raskin. I've heard several people make comments like that, hey, crime is down from last year. Okay, last year was really bad, but it's down like one murder from last year. Okay, so murder is down from last year by one.
We're making progress. Great progress.
Yeah, we had 265 last year. Now we had 264. So it's down. We're doing much better.
Less
folks.
than last year. Isn't it great, man? We're really cracking down. We're really watching the streets.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I mean, come on, folks. People have to live out there in those streets. You don't. The elites, the people on television, they don't have to go out in the streets. If they do, it's Fifth Avenue. And it's, 2 blocks from their job at Rockefeller Center to their, high-rise apartment at Trump Tower or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's safe at that, it's probably safe in that neighborhood, but I don't know. Do they probably take a tab? Yeah, they probably do, just because they're so recognizable that they don't want to be, stalked walking down the road. But again, that's the point. They're living in a bubble. They never go outside. They don't interact. They don't know what it's like to get carjacked at gunpoint. I mean, I've never happened to me, but my God, I can't imagine what that's like. Carjacked at gunpoint.
It'd be fearful, man. It's like my friend used to always say, it's fun and games until the flying monkeys come out.
That's right. We'll leave it on that and take a break, folks. We'll be right back after this message with more from the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show.
All right, we're on radio break.
Those words of wisdom.
Hey, Blue, what you doing? You still sleeping?
Oh,
raining
yeah.
out. She's just been sleeping under my feet all day.
I did manage to clean the Sunday show up as best as I could. It still had some sounds in it that I couldn't get out of, but I think tonight we're doing really good. I haven't heard anybody complaining about the sound, or even you guys saying, hey, I'm hearing something in the background.
What happened? It sounds real clean. Did you do anything, or it just stopped?
I actually just did a whole cleanup of my system. I cleared out the cookies and all that, so I'm hoping that maybe some of that was the problem.
Seems like whatever you did, it worked, man, because it's nice and clean.
Yeah. But
very good, man. Very good job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, with the video stuff now, it's added some other things that I have to look into, not just focus on the audio. So, yep. And I appreciate everybody that helps me out, saying, hey, something don't sound right. I might not be hearing it, but, someone else does. So that's good. And then I can clean it up.
Who do we got out there in the chat world today? I mean, in the cyber world today.
We got, please call me W-Dub over in Kick Chat, Javoke over in Kick Chat. I can't even say it. Zerzer and OptiVR. We got Cecilia Hazard, FTW, and who else? Oh, Cecilia and Roger in the Kick Chat. And then over on D Live, we have we got a person over there too. Jeff Prod over on D Live, and on Facebook we've got Jordan Shea.
All right. Shout out to everybody out there listening, and we appreciate each and every one of you.
Yes, we do. Roger says, keeping it real up in here. Thanks, Roger. We do try.
What is it that we try to do? I want to know.
Our very best, always.
Our best. Okay.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah.
Got to keep it real.
Got to keep it real, man. Speaking of keep it real, man, have you been following the whole insane InfoWars, Owen Schroyer, Alex Jones fallout? Because that's insane, dude. I've never.
No.
Oh my gosh, it's insane. Alex Jones went nuclear on Owen Schroyer, called him evil traitor, Benedict Arnold, scumbag, a dirtbag, snake.
Oh, go find some clips from that, man.
I've got it's all cussing, man. There's no way.
No, we can't do that.
Oh, okay.
It is.
Well,
30 seconds,
but
guys.
He does a lot of radio, so most of his stuff isn't really.
Well, no, today he did ranting, but without, I think pretty much without the vulgarity. He apologized for the vulgarity yesterday. So maybe you can get some clips for Sunday. Or if we got time in the break, I'll see if I can dig something up.
And here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Censorship Roundtable radio show. We were just talking before we went to break, Barry, about how, people on the left were downplaying the crime. It's not so bad. I mean, folks, so you get carjacked, you break your arm, so what, right? It's not the end of the world. You get insurance, and, you're just going to have to maybe, ride share for a month or so till all the insurance works out and you can buy a new car. No big deal. Your arm will heal. Chicks dig scars. But anyway, Brianna Keilar over at CNN. Let me play a clip from her that kind of demonstrates this.
Chicago did experience a particularly brutal Labor Day weekend. Police say 56 people were shot, 7 were killed. But across the board, crime is still down compared to last year.
Oh, joy. That's wonderful. 1,000 people were shot. And hey, it's okay because it's down from last year.
Yeah. 56 people were shot over one weekend. And it's okay, though. It's not that bad. It's not as bad as it sounds.
It'd be like
not over-exaggerate this.
Somebody that was in the war and they lost 2 arms and a leg. And they go, hey, you could have lost 2 arms and 2 legs, man. Be thankful.
Yeah, hey.
What's wrong with you, man?
Always look on the bright side of life. Do-do, do-do.
Love just showing how crazy they are, though. It's just bizarre, little land. I mean, come on. It's going to get crazy because they can't go back to the lies that they told because those are all being debunked now. So now they really have to show who they really are and what they really are about. What other choice do they have? They either do that or they go ahead and agree with Trump and say, yeah, you're right, crime's bad. We should really fix this and make it safe for everybody. Let everybody go to the restaurant at night and feel safe. Women to be able to go out after 9 and feel safe. It would be wonderful. What a great America that would be, But they're not going to do that because they're not for that.
Exactly. And they're fighting like crazy to stop Trump from going into Chicago to do anything about the crime there, And I think if you ask anybody on the streets, did what he do in Washington, D.C. work? And should we try it in Chicago? I would say, yes, it worked. And yeah, let's try it in Chicago. Why not? It'll save lives. Less people will die. Washington, D.C., have they had a murder since all this went down? I know they went like 2 weeks without a murder, which was like record territory for them. I wonder if they still haven't had a murder.
Trump just said either today or yesterday that 0 deaths still so far. So we'll see.
I mean, if they can go a month without a single death in Washington, D.C., and everyone on the left is going to say, well, this is a tragedy. It's the worst thing ever. Well, how many lives did they just save?
Exactly.
How many people are walking around alive today that will have birthdays and families and kids and you name it because of what Donald Trump did there? That, again, took him one day to do. They went in there, they fixed it, and it's fixed, right? Will it last forever? In a year from now, will it still be, no deaths in Washington, D.C. after a year, like the first year ever any major city's ever done that? If so, I hope so. That would be beautiful. How long will it last? I don't know. But, man, he showed that if you want to go in and fix it, you can fix it.
Oh, yeah. And he does it so quickly. That's the thing that's just amazing, which pretty much shows that they're full of crap that, we could never do that. We don't have the resources, the time. And even if we did, it would take 10 years, 20 years. I mean, we just have to learn to live with it and be safe. This is how the left talks. And then he debunks that just by doing it in just a short matter of time. And to be honest, dude, when I look at what's going on in these leftist hellscapes, metaphorically speaking, I think Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I think these people metaphorically are like aliens from another planet who just are like trying to take over. They're not even rational, It's really bizarre.
Yeah, and it's shocking that this is the strategy they're going with. It's just we hate Trump so much that no matter what he does, we have to oppose it, even if it seems to be working really well and saving lives. It does not matter.
What is Trump to them? He's somebody that wants to make America great again. He wants to make us prosperous. He wants to make us safe. He wants to make, everybody be able to afford a home, everybody afford a car, and all of these things go against the Democrat, globalist, leftist ideals. They want you to have less because, they want zero emissions, right? That's their end game. So they want you to have basically nothing and then be dependent upon the state so you can be totally enslaved. And so it's not really that they hate Trump so much. They hate what he stands for. He stands for Americana. He stands for Americanism. He stands for freedom. He stands for at least some kind of a semblance of the rule of law.
Mm-hmm. And they can't buy him out. They can't bribe him. They can't blackmail him. They can't get to him. Even through the lawfare and the attempted assassinations, they still haven't been able to get to him. Right? 34 felons, 34-time convicted felon. And I could care less. It means nothing to me. Oh, but he's a Nazi. Yeah, that word lost all its meaning years ago, sweetheart. Years ago. The term Nazi, fascist. Oh my God! When I first saw Antifa, the very first time I ever heard of them, I was watching some live event in, I don't know, Boston or whatever, and they showed up in their black clad and started punching people and calling them all fascists. And I just looked at it in awe and said, "How can this even be? You're calling these people fascist? Do you even know what that word means? And at the same time, you're trying to prevent them from speaking and punching them in the face if they try to actually express their freedom of speech. If they actually try to get their message out there, you're going to punch them in the face. You're like the fascist.
They're the brown shirts, bro. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, brown shirts of the government. Maybe not technically, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, we've really gotten to the point where the word racist means nothing. Right. And it's a shame because it's a very important and powerful word, but yes, it's lost all its meaning.
Oh yeah, and they want us hating each other. Now, honest to God, man, I have to really work on it because, it's just one of those things, man, where they want you to hate the other, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's just something you have to work at and understand that this is a ploy, that this is a scheme, that this is a strategy, so that they can keep us fighting among ourselves while they go about doing whatever it is that they want to do and control and manipulate the whole world. And so the thing that they fear the most, and it's really not even rocket science, it's as simple as possibly can be, and that is unity. They want to avoid us having unity because that's where the power is. That's the whole thing, united we stand, divided we fall. And they knew that, so let's make them fall. And then we can make America fall as well.
Yeah, but guess what, man? It's not going to happen on our watch.
Fighter for sure. I mean, he's given it all he's got.
Yeah, not going to happen on our watch. And honestly, if they keep going down this route, I can't wait for 2026 because it's going to be a landslide. When they keep saying that, everyone hates Trump and he's doing a horrible job and, he's going to die and maybe he is dead and we sure hope he does die. Like Tim Waltz said, it just makes them look so nasty, evil, petty.
Yep.
That there's no way this is going to work for them. They're fighting against Trump coming into their cities and bringing the death rate, the murder rate down to zero. They'll fight it tooth and nail with everything they can. And people are going to see that and say, wait a minute, I can barely go out at night in my neighborhood. It's scary out there. You're going to make it safe so I can drive through the south side of Chicago with my windows down in the summer? God forbid. I mean, when's the last time you were able to do that in Chicago, down State Street at midnight on a Friday night with your windows down? Never. That's a place where when you're driving through there, you leave at least 10 feet between you and the car in front of you. All your doors are locked and the windows are up, and you're looking in every direction. You're on swivel the whole time.
Here's what I see happening with if Trump is really victorious across the board, limiting crime, bringing back the middle class and all that, then they're going to have to really tell their whole ploy, and they're just going to have to say, look, I think it's great that, crime is down. I think it's great that you guys, are prosperous right now, but the planet is going to overheat. It's going to boil over if we push back. And, this is the best plan for humanity, because otherwise we're not going to have a world anymore. That's going to be their narrative. And they've already used a similar narrative already. But once Trump is fully successful, that is the card they're going to play last. And of course, nobody's going to believe it, but that's going to be their last that they play, unless, of course, they go to their other plan, which is by force of somehow what I've talked about before.
Yeah. Well, I hope they, make Greta Thunberg their spokesperson for all that. Have her stand out there on stage with the, whoever's the president at the time, and, give a big speech about how we all stole her future and how the world's about to die. It's Chicken Little all over, man. The sky is falling. The sky is falling.
Yep. And Obama said in Africa, he gave a speech. You guys can look this up. He said, we can't allow Africa to have the same kind of amenities that we have here in the United States, or the whole world would boil over, he said. So remember that, folks. This is at the core of their belief system. This is what they believe.
And so he would also have to be talking about India and China as well, I assume, right? Because
anybody really that's moving.
Those two countries have way more people than Africa, like way more, double.
I can't think of anything more racist to tell black people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm sorry, but you can't have the stuff we have. That sounds very racist to me.
Yeah, if you haven't got it by now, you're just never going to have it. Sorry.
Tough luck.
Yeah, But you can also move to America with no problem. We'll pay you. Or England, or Europe, or anywhere you want, really.
Just promise that you're going to cause trouble when you come over here. Just promise that you're going to destroy things.
Exactly. Yeah, break things, tear down English flags, you name it. Have at it with the little girls.
Remember how I said that if Kamala had won, that they would be burning down churches in America? There's been churches burning down all over the world, man. Most radical, Muslims, radical Muslims doing it, but also, leftist loons as well. Just like a couple of big churches were burning just this last week. And so in these leftist, globalist run areas, expect to see churches burning, man.
Well, I saw an article about how it was the Congo, the DNC or Nigeria. It was one of those over there where like an entire village of Christians, like several hundred of them, were just marched off and killed.
And not a word from the mainstream media. Not a peep, man, because they don't care.
Yeah. Like they're literally killing thousands and thousands of Christians down there with nobody cares. The Pope doesn't even say anything about it. The Pope. Right. You'd think the Pope would be like, hey, man, this is kind of an issue. Let's send some troops down there and stop this. But no.
Well, yeah. And then the trans terrorists that went into the church, while they were having mass and praying.
Oh, yeah.
Killing a couple of innocent children, man. Just, I still can't get over that. There was another trans terrorist that just happened the other day. I posted about it on social media. I got it from Libs of TikTok on X, where some trans terrorist went into a home and violently sexually assaulted a child. So these are really
an infant.
People.
You say child? It was an infant, wasn't it?
Man, it's just either way. It's just beyond belief, dude. It's so evil, man. Pure evil.
On whole nother levels, but we're fixing it. We're putting an end to it. We just have to figure out what's going to happen to our schools. How can we reform them so fundamentally that this stuff just isn't happening anymore? That we get back to like the 50s where, again, kids would have shotguns or rifles hanging in the back of their trucks when they drove to school, and that was never an issue. Door unlocked all day out in the parking lot. Anybody could just walk up to it, open it up, and take out the rifle. It was never an issue back then. Why is that such a huge thing today? Why is that just so utterly, catastrophic in the fact that, there's psycho kids out there that would pick up that gun and use it on their fellow students? That shouldn't be a thing, and yet it is. What has changed? We need to isolate that and fix it in our schools so that we raise people that are citizens, not just trying to get by and survive, but citizens who love thy neighbor and their neighbor loves them, and they attribute to society and they would want to do good. We're just not there today. It just seems like we fail so many of our kids. And if we could fix that, we'd fix a whole lot of other problems down the pike.
Mm-hmm. I just don't think it's going to happen until the mainstream media either collapses entirely or they change their game plan, because they're basically inciting these people to violence by not condemning it, man. They tried to hide the fact that this person was a trans terrorist that wanted to kill Christians.
Yeah, because he regretted it and said he wished he'd never brainwashed himself. And, but yet he changed his name. So yeah, there's two people out there. There's the people saying, "Oh no, this isn't trans anymore. They rescinded." No, you can't blame this on the trans community. This is not anyone in the trans community. They rescinded it. And so we hear that they never rescinded.
He was still trying to identify as a woman. He just realized he really would never be a woman, that he'd been brainwashed to believe the lie. So he still was trying, but he knew that no matter how hard he tried to be a woman, he could never be a woman, because it's impossible for a man, a biological man, to become a woman. Impossible.
And why the hatred for Christians? They're the ones that would sit down with them, show them the most love, and, try to help them through all this.
Yeah, the perfect example. When Franklin Graham came to New York City and was, with his Samaritan's Purse charity and was giving out stuff. I don't know exactly what all, but it was, providing for the needs during the shamdemic. And the left said, "Go away. We don't want your help. You're a Christian. You help people. Leave." Like, well, what?
Yeah, it's it's a crazy world out there, man. It is. And I don't know. Here's a crazy example. New York City College. I'm reading from Red State here. New York City College students at a four-year university in Manhattan can now take a course titled How to Steal, which promises to look at radical ethics around theft. Right?
What? You gotta be kidding.
Eugene Lane College of Liberal Arts can take the 4-credit class that will cost students upwards of $10,040 to look at things like the aesthetics of theft in a world where accumulation is sacred. The field-based seminar, I was told a while ago that field was a trigger word. Seminar explores the political ethics and aesthetics of theft in a world where accumulation is sacred, dispossession is routine, and the line between private property and public good is drawn in blood. Students will critically examine what it means to steal from whom, for whom, and why. Those site visits and fieldwork in places where capital is hoarded and value is contested, corporate storefronts, grocery chains, museums, libraries, banks, and cultural institutions. What does theft look like under capitalism, colonialism, and everyday life? When is theft survival, protest, or care? And when is it violence, appropriation, or harm? That's from the syllabus.
Dude, but you just answered your question about why they hate Christians so much, and Jews as well. Thou shalt not steal. That's why they hate Christians.
But Barry, is it possible to steal back what was already stolen?
Oh my goodness, man.
New York is stolen land, right? So
you can justify anything you want to justify if you work at it, man. But stealing is stealing.
And the thing that left me at the end of this article was they're charging them 10 grand for this course. Isn't that highway robbery? Isn't that just stealing at that point? $10,000 for this?
Yeah, it should be offered for free.
Well, $10,000 to take a course that is just pure garbage.
Or just take 10% of the stuff they steal after the class.
Yeah.
You look, the class is free, but everything you steal, you got to give us 10%. They'd probably make a lot more money. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like you take the course down to Nordstrom's and you just have them all go in there with masks, storm the place, grab every leather jacket and whatever they can, and run out the front door into the school bus waiting there with the name of the college on the side and drive off.
Yeah. I mean,
that would be like a field trip, you know? We're going to go, you know, ransack a Nordstrom today and then come back to the class. We'll count up our take and just, you know, divide it up evenly. And then we'll talk about what we learned from that experience.
It's Robin Hood, man. Don't worry about it. You know, you're a modern day Robin Hood. And look, I kind of understand there is, I mean, a kernel, and I'm talking a kernel of truth in kind of what they're saying. And let me give an example, because there are, I've heard, you know, different Catholic priests and different Christians kind of, you know, give discourses on this kind of thing before. Like, say, for example, you have a family and you're doing everything you possibly can, but you just can't feed your family. And you go into a grocery store and you steal some bread and some peanut butter and jam. You know, is that really a horrible crime? You know what I'm saying? And this kind of thing happens a lot. And many times when they get caught, because the owner is a good person, they can see that the person is distraught, and they're not thieves. They're just, you know, they're shamed because they can't provide for the family, and they want to put food on the table for their wife and for their kids. And so sometimes the owner will actually just fill up a cart full of food for them and send them on their way. And this is, go ahead.
Or say, you know, come back tomorrow and take all the carts out there and bring them back in here, and I'll give you another basket of food. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just, you know,
yeah. So the person can have his
clean up around the dumpster, whatever.
Right.
There's always something to do.
Sure.
And
so there's a place for compassion and all of that, but what they're proposing is insanity.
Mm. Yes, they are proposing insanity, and it's I don't know. I'm just picture you're the dad. You're the dad, and your kid's gone off to college, and they're at Eugene Lane College of Liberal Arts in Manhattan, and you're paying, you know, you're paying all kinds of money for their rent because they're living in New York, and you know, on and on. It's expensive, man. This whole thing is getting a little bit up to here, and you see, okay, my kid, they're going to take algebra, you know, a level 3 algebra. Okay, that's $11,000. Okay, wow, that's expensive. But you know, I got to cut a check today. I knew this was coming. They're taking, you know, a history class, maybe an English class, and then you look down at you know, after English 103 or 201 or whatever it is, you got how to steal 101, and it's $10,040. As a father, cutting that check, how to steal, and then it's $10,000. I would almost have to frame that. I would have to show that to everyone I know to just be like, am I getting ripped off? Are they just blatantly stealing from me in my face?
I think people would be so shocked by it that they would try to read into it and make it say, oh, that's not what it means. It probably means something else, like, you know, how to steal in a different way, you know, maybe how to steal in a legal way or something. You know, the people see that, they're going to go, that can't be for real. You know, just like many times when we were trying to tell liberals of what the left was standing for, they didn't believe us. They thought, that's insane. That's not true. I haven't heard that, in the liberal news. And then you show it to them and they're shocked, right? They can hardly believe it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, I'd be like, this school is teaching my kid how to steal by charging me $10,000 for this garbage, right? Like, what is this going to get you in life?
Well, remember the left, they denied that you know, they were having book bannings, that the left was banning books, pornographic books for kids. They said that's not happening. Remember that? Because it was so bizarre.
The left was giving the kids the pornography.
They were, but if you read the liberal news and you just talk to a normal liberal, they would tell you that's not happening. I know, because I talked to many of them. I'd say, because they were the ones saying we were the ones banning the books. And we said, no, we're not banning books. You guys are banning books. You're banning books and movies and everything on Amazon, on YouTube, on Facebook, everywhere. And they go, no, but they didn't know that it was pornographic material, because that's
put
not
a
what
trigger warning in the Bible.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, like I remember that story a while back. Some publisher put a trigger warning at the beginning of the Bible, saying, there's content in here that can be very hurtful, very damaging, very triggering. Read with caution.
Well, first of all, if you're a young kid and you're trying to read the Bible, you're not going to understand the Bible in the Bible terms. That's why they have children's Bibles, and they have the nice little stories in little children's form with pictures and short little paragraphs per page, sort of like See Spot Run type stuff.
Exactly, the basic stories and whatnot. But the left had look at what they've done to Netflix. Look what they've done to Disney. It's a form of censorship to just turn everything to woke garbage and not produce any of the good stuff that you could be producing. They get good scripts all the time that are riveting, fantastic, phenomenal, type movies that would make $1 billion if they
make hundreds of millions of dollars, and probably would not cost half as much to make, because the story would be the focus.
Yeah. And, for Disney, that should be their core thing, is the story. Is the story good? That's it. That's the thing they do, is tell really good stories. They've done it since, their very origins. And they've gotten away from that and more towards this DEI crap and just teaching people a bunch of things they don't want to know, they don't care about. I don't go to a movie to be lectured. If you're going to lecture me at the movie, I'm giving it a bad review and I'm not coming back. But anyway, folks, we are all out of time for the first hour. Stay tuned for hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable radio show right after this.
All right, we are on radio break.
All right.
We need to take a couple of minutes. It's a 10-minute break right here, right? So I can look up and see if I can find videos of Alex.
Yeah, and screen him real quick to make sure he's on the air and not ranting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, yesterday's stuff was, oh, my gosh. He was, okay, remember when he went nuts on Joe Rogan? It was that times 10.
Wow.
Times 10 on his fellow brother, who he's known for over 10 years, since like 2011, when Owen came to work at InfoWars. I mean, they're like best buddies, and he just ripped him apart, called him, snake and devil, and I mean everything you could possibly imagine.
Well, go find it, man. Go find it. I want to hear this, because that's crazy stuff, man. Like you say, they were super tight forever, and
well, it all sprung from Owen Schroyer. After he quit, he did a 5-hour podcast on Owen Schroyer Live on Rumble, and I listened to over 4 hours of it. And then, of course, the InfoWars show came on, the Alex Jones show, so I had to watch it to see what his response would be. And dude, it was, oh my gosh. I mean, I can give a good breakdown in a very short amount of time, if we need to do that, because I listened to the 4 hours of Owen, and I listened to the, like, whatever it is, 8 hours of Alex over the last 2 days. And he just, like, he can't stop. He's so pissed off, man. He is so pissed off at Schroyer right now.
Wow. Yeah, let's find some clips from that. That sounds great. Please take point on that and fill everybody in, man, because that sounds like a great story.
He did a rant today, I think it was, that was actually really good, except for it was focused on Owen. I mean, if it was him talking about the deep state, you'd be like, go Alex, man, yeah. But the very fact he was getting so worked up, like I'm going to fight for freedom. This whole battle that he has with Owen is somehow now a big battle for freedom for him. I don't know, man. I really wish it wasn't happening, because it's very divisive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of funny. And by the way, Owen has got his studio almost paid for. He lays out exactly what he's going to do. He's going to sell his home in Austin, and he's going to get out of Austin because he doesn't want to have to face any more lawfare. So he's buying a new house, and then he's going to build a $30,000 studio, which is going to be more of a radio type studio, not so much like they did at InfoWars, and it's going to cost $30,000. And last time I checked, he'd already raised almost $28,000. So he's definitely going to get the $30,000, and he's going to sell his home. He's going all in to be independent. And hey, I mean, that's his thing, okay? But I'd like to see him and Alex, work it out.
Yeah. Yeah, they were a good team.
But it's true, as Alex has said, and I pointed it out thousands of times. I pointed it out way before Alex started talking about it. The black-pilled truthers. I've been talking about them for a long time, way before Alex did. And he was talking about how Owen is basically black-pilled, and he is. It's sad, but it's true. All he does is hyper-focus in on the negative stuff and kind of the Jew thing as well, which I don't like as well, because I think that's a misrepresentation.
All right, guys. Getting ready to switch over. So I'll see you over there.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
All right.
Okay.
You. Who's doing this? Oh my God. Really? Trying to get you guys back up and rolling. Get out of there. Son of a gun, you. Why, oh why, oh why? Damn you. Well, let's just go back to Wednesday 1. Up. Damn you.
Hello?
Hey, didn't let me open up the second one again. I don't know. I had a hard time opening the first one earlier, but I guess we're all back but Barry, but we'll get everybody there. There's Barry. Yeah, it wouldn't let me connect to the next room for... I had a hard time getting connected to this one when I first started out, too. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I don't know.
I think I found one that we'll be able to play. Let me queue it up on my phone, and I got it hooked up to the McCaster, so we should be good to go. Let me see if I can find it. I think we'll start it a couple of minutes into.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got going on.
You want to do a quick audio test? We can.
Sure, absolutely.
There we go, folks.
To control the show, he would whatever. Total lie.
Perfect.
And then as all the articles come out, and Joe, and
10 out of 10, dude.
And let me say something else about you. Even before he went to prison for 4 months, and we all that, he stopped talking to the crew very much and didn't have a good attitude. Was pissed off all the time. And then it got to where he'd show up right before the show, wouldn't even talk to the crew. He'd walk by me and say something like, just start laughing at me. Like, again, I'm not in junior high, so it didn't hurt me at that level. It hurt me that he was just like, yeah, I heard you. Yes. Oh, and we can go further.
All right. Yeah, no, that's perfect audio. Let's just play it in the show, dude.
Fraudulent.
I don't want to spoil it for everybody.
auction and got caught in all of
Where'd
that.
you
Unless
get
you have
it?
a reason, yeah.
You have to say where you got it from and who was the one that aired it first and all that.
Well,
Don't forget.
It's you don't have it's band.video, so it's all open source. Everything
It
from
doesn't
InfoWars
matter.
is
You still have to do it for the radio side.
Yeah, you just
Well,
say
just-
it's from Alex Jones.
from the Alex Jones Show. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to it on,
And
so
what
you don't have to listen.
and what day that came out? Did it come out today or yesterday or when?
Yesterday.
Blue, did you eat your pizza? Was it good? I was sitting there for a while, man. You were out like a light. Oh gosh, man. My place is trashed out here, man. It's been raining and blowing. I got like pine needles,
Got
pine cones.
30 seconds, guys.
Flooding zones, you name it. I've got my hands full the next couple of days.
You there, Barry?
I'm here, yeah.
Okay. Here's the countdown. 5, 4, 3,
Four,
2,
three,
1,
two.
and you're live right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to hour 2 of the Censorship Roundtable Radio, where Barry echoes everything I say right back at me.
Radio.
There you go. Yes, we've upgraded our audio through the break here. So if you can't tell, it's on a whole nother level now. So we are excited to come at you with hour 2 with a whole new level of audio.
100%. Let's go.
All right, Barry, you were talking during the break, during the first break, half hour or so ago, about the feud between Alex Jones and Owen Schroyer. So take the mic, tell us all about it. This sounds hysterical.
It is epic. And if you guys remember when Alex Jones melted down over Joe Rogan and lost his mind completely, and there were all those animated memes that came out of it that were just like completely zany and went viral, right? Remember that? Well,
Yeah.
This is kind of like that times 10. He's completely lost his mind over Owen Schroyer quitting and how he went about quitting. And he's calling him an evil traitor, and he's calling him a Benedict Arnold, and of course, some more flavorful words as well. It's just really kind of bizarre because before he went completely berserk, he actually said, Alex said, I'm going to go berserker. I'm going to be a berserker from here on out. Whatever that means. I'm not sure what a berserker is, other than maybe you start acting more berserkly. I have no idea. But he's going to go berserk, and he did. He went completely berserk. That's all I can say. He was real nice at first and said, hey, Owen has left, and we wish him the best, and everything is great. And then the next thing you know, he's losing his mind, because basically what happened was Owen made a podcast, a 5-hour podcast on the Owen Schroyer Live on rumble.com, and he broke down why he was leaving. And that is what really got Alex Jones mad. And that's when he started calling him a Benedict Arnold and all these other names. And he's like, man, do you want more? Let's go. Let's fight. You're my enemy. You're an enemy of America. I mean, he was just like going all off on Owen like never before. Not only the first day, but then the second day. And he would have guests on, and he would interview the guests perfectly. And then right after the guest left, he would just go straight into bashing Owen Schroyer. And he did that today on the show as well. It's just like he can't stop bashing Owen Schroyer. It's insane.
Okay. And what is this all? It's just Owen is going out on his own, basically, and so Alex is just ticked off about it, or is Owen doing and saying certain things?
Well, according to Owen, it's been a long time coming. He felt like Alex was looking over his shoulder all the time, thought that maybe he was too black-pilled, too pessimistic, too anti-Trump, and he felt that he was acting as more like a babysitter. He'd be coming into the show, busting into the show. Supposedly, he felt like Alex was telling him what to say. I don't think that's really what was happening. But apparently, Owen wants some form of independence. He wants to be able to do his own thing and sort of steer his ship in the direction that he wants to go and do it more independently and not so much be a part of the InfoWars team. I think that's what it really comes down to. I don't think he is being hateful towards InfoWars or disrespectful, but that's how Alex has taken it. You know, he thinks that, you know, because he wants to do his own thing or whatever. And Alex thinks there's a conspiracy behind it as well. He thinks that Owen did this in a way so that he could, you know, spring off of, you know, InfoWars and playing the victim, you know, like, oh, they forced me out. I wanted to stay at least the last week and go out shaking Alex's hand and, you know, talk about all the good times that we've had. But Alex wouldn't allow me to have that. And he told me not to come back. So he did kind of in that way demonize InfoWars. But, you know, it's like he's just telling his perspective and his side of the story. I don't think it's worth getting that bent out of shape over. You know, whatever's between the two of them, they should keep that to themselves. I don't think they should be broadcasting it live. And I don't think Owen Schroyer is the...
I think we're about 20 hours too late for that, though, as far as live broadcasts.
Oh, yeah, he's already fully committed. Yeah, I don't think he can turn back.
For days now. For days.
Now, he did apologize.
New backers, all this stuff we get shut down.
Remember, he did apologize about Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
Remember all the crazy stuff that he said about Joe?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I mean, he was like talking about...
Sort of.
Well, he basically said that Joe was working for the CIA. I mean, you know, Alex, he goes nuts, man. He starts seeing everything from the lens of a conspiracy. And that's kind of dangerous, I think. I don't think that Owen Schroyer was plotting and ploying, you know, destroy InfoWars, to springboard off of InfoWars and use Alex as a springboard. There was no real thought other than he just wanted his freedom. He wanted his freedom and his independence.
Calling that a springboard isn't really a negative thing. You got on that show, you did it for years, and you got pretty well known at it. So is it a springboard? Sure. If you go off on your own, I would call that a springboard, but that's not a bad thing. If I go work for Fox News and then leave and start my own podcast, was Fox News a springboard for me to get famous and start my own, you know, subreddit or whatever? Sure. It's not, a springboard is not a bad thing, you know. If I work in some great restaurant and that is a springboard for me getting a management job at an even better restaurant, and so be it. That's just how life works.
Well, the conspiracy in Alex's mind is that Owen was using the demonization of Alex Jones and InfoWars as a springboard, not you know, all the good things that we've done. I think that's just that's his mindset. I don't think that's what's happening. But in his mind, he believes that Owen plotted this thing out to make him look like the victim and InfoWars and Alex Jones look like the bad guy so he could springboard and become, you know, more popular. I think that's just totally like looking too deep.
And you've got some audio of this, right? We can actually listen to right from the horse's mouth.
The first day was all just vulgarity, so I couldn't play that. But today he calmed down a little bit, so we do have a clip that we can play where there's no cuss words.
Okay. Where's it from?
This is from basically the Alex Jones show.
Okay.
And
I'm gone. Starts announcing, is this the time? Because InfoWars is being shut down, he thinks. Announce his new network and funding and all this stuff. And then we're back the next day, and Owen just shows back up and does a show and walks in and just looks at me with hatred and like slinks in there. Just, he really wanted me to fire him so he could be a victim. And I confided just in a few of the producers. I said, he wants to be a victim. I said, I'm going to have love and say prayers for him that he gets better. I'll be really nice to him, give him extra bonuses. Maybe he'll pull out of it. I tried to talk to him. He's never wanted to talk to me. And I said, but I said, he's going to stab me in the back. He's a new person. And I don't know if it's his personal life. I don't know if it's stuff he's smoking. But I've seen a lot of people get paranoid, you know, they smoke pot and go nuts. But I mean, I can just tell you this right now, that I'm not here to be shit on or stabbed in the back. This crew isn't your punching bag. And we did nothing to you but be loyal. And your little 5-hour extravaganza of little puppy dog that doesn't know why, and he just wanted to come back and shake my hand and be nice, and then I kind of censored him and said, no, you don't need to host your show. You want to hear what he said in the phone call to me? I didn't record it. I was in the pool with my 8-year-old daughter playing with her Barbie dolls at whatever it was, 4 o'clock yesterday. You know, a rare.
Yeah, so there you go. Kind of cut off. That's the end of it. It goes on. That was the end of that clip.
It sounds really interesting. It sounds like just another drama, going on out there. And who knows, man? Sometimes they manufacture this stuff so they can get a news cycle.
It's funny you said that, because I made a post after making 3 really detailed posts about the whole thing. And I said, 1% of me believes that maybe this whole thing is staged. I wouldn't know why exactly, but 1%, because these are just weird, crazy days, man. And because he was so nice at first, and then he just goes ballistic, and it's sort of in that, I don't know, hyper pseudo emotion. That's not like real. You can tell there's a little bit of acting and all that, like Alex does. You know what I'm saying? So it makes you wonder. Like there's always going to be that 1% that makes me think maybe this thing was staged. Yeah, 99%. I believe it's probably real, and they probably have a real beef. But 1% says, nah, something's not adding up.
Exactly. And I mean, you wonder why. What's their motivation for doing that? Well, we just spent 9 minutes on it. Right?
Exactly.
And played a clip and all that. It's definitely publicity. So I don't know. I wish them both the best of luck. I have known Alex in the past, and I just wish them all the best of luck and hope everything goes very well for them, because they both seem like decent people. But the berserker mode for Owen, let's see where that takes him. If he just starts going like way off the deep end with his coverage, who knows?
Yeah, well, he has a different plan. There's no question about it. He wants to be less partisan, which I think is kind of a mistake. But and he wants to do it more like traditional radio, and just cover the news. So he's not going to really, it doesn't seem like he's going into it to fight the globalists and the Democrats that really just want to destroy everything. It's like he's trying to just come out and just do news. I don't think there's a place for that, but I may misunderstood what he really wants to do, because he did say, I will cover some conspiracy, whatever that means.
Yeah. And anyway, let's do our job here as well and just cover news. So let's get into this this drug trafficking boat that was leaving Venezuela earlier today or yesterday. And we've got footage of the Trump administration basically blowing the thing out of the water. It had 11 people on it, and pallets and pallets and pallets of drugs. And we said enough is enough and shot it out of the sky, but out of the ocean. Just boom, it's no more. Have you seen that drone footage?
I haven't seen the footage. I've heard about it. What happened?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just the boat's there, now it's not. And guess what? Well, here's Marco Rubio talking about this, and I think it makes a lot of sense. I'll let him explain.
The United States has long, for many, many years, established intelligence that allow us to interdict and stop drug boats. And we did that. And it doesn't work. Interdiction doesn't work because these drug cartels, what they do is they know they're going to lose 2% of their cargo. They bake it into their economics. What will stop them is when you blow them up, when you get rid of them. The President of the United States is going to wage war on narco-terrorist organizations. This one was operating in international waters, headed towards the United States to flood our country with poison. And under President Trump, those days are over.
And it wasn't a one-off. Rubio says strikes like these will happen again.
So there you go. It doesn't matter when we just take their product away. They don't care. It's all baked into the goods. You arrest a couple people, that's, lawyer fees, bail, all that stuff, baked into the cost. You blow them out of the water. Okay. Now they're trying to recruit 10 people to man the next trip up here. And hazard pay just went up from, we were getting $1 million a run. Now we want 20 million to even think about it. Like, are you going to get on one of those boats as a narco-terrorist?
I tell you what, man, it makes you wonder exactly why American government prior to Trump turned a blind eye to this kind of thing, when obviously it's pretty easy to stop these people. I don't understand. It's almost as if they want the drugs coming in. They want the fentanyl coming in. I mean, we got to go back. I mean, this is not conspiracy theory. This is conspiracy fact. I mean, the CIA has been caught smuggling in cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is like a documented fact. And so Are they turning a blind eye on purpose and Trump is saying no more? And is that kind of why they hate Trump so much? Because he's putting an end to the corruption and the crime?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of money in this. You know, we were talking on Sunday night about the different cartels that are infiltrated into the government in Mexico. Heads, leaders of cartels sitting in the Senate, right, just sitting there openly while they're, you know, doing their business, chumming up to their people, paying them big money. And I mean, folks, big money.
Yep.
Big money. They've got
untraceable money that then they can spend however they want, and they don't have to go through Congress or get any approval to get it. And they can do any kind of black op they want to do with that money because it's not even, it doesn't exist on paper.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you know, you're a Mexican cartel dealer living in Sinaloa, you know, state, and I mean, what's it cost to buy a beer down there? Like 75 cents, right? You got $6 billion in the bank. Okay, what are you going to spend it on? You know, it's insane. Politicians are the cheapest way to guarantee your success.
And like they say in America, what a politician can be bought, they say, for about $10,000. Pretty cheap.
Yeah, that was the BlackRock guy on video with James O'Keefe saying, yeah, $10,000-$15,000 by a senator, and off you go. Now you got them in your pocket forever. We got $27 trillion, so 10,000 is chump change. The CEO probably spends that on lunch probably once a week. You know,
you wonder where they get the money to do some of the things they do, and now kind of, you know, the drug money could be part of that. That could be some shady dealings going on, man, as we well know. But I think Trump wants to end all that kind of stuff, and there's no need for it if you're honest and upright, because you can make America as prosperous as you want to make it, man. We're like the beacon to the whole world. We got all kinds of resources. We've got all kinds of great leaders and capacity. There's no reason to have to do shady stuff unless you're into doing shady stuff.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Ilhan Omar has just reported a net worth of $30 million in her latest financial disclosure. Okay. A month ago, someone asked if she was a millionaire, and she said that's ridiculous, categorically false. A millionaire? No, it's 30 million. Categorically false. So to say I have a million, it's 30 million.
She's a multi-millionaire. Yeah. She's a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's all on her husband, her new husband, who used to be her campaign manager, who she was paying $600,000 to or whatever at the time, and he's got. Yeah, they've got this investment firm that had $15,000 to $50,000 a year ago. Now it's, you know, $1 to $5 million, and they've got a winery that also, you know, has skyrocketed in value. I'm sorry, actually, you know, I stand corrected. The winery was $15,000 to $50,000, went to $1 million to $5 million in the latest disclosure, but his assets were at $5 million to $25 million at the end of 2024. And the company had less than 1,000 assets the previous year. So, first of all, you show me a winery anywhere in this country that you can get into it for $15,000 to $50,000. A winery that's now worth $1 to $5 million a year later. The $1 to $5 million number sounds realistic. $50,000, $15,000 for a winery, right? That just doesn't sound even remotely realistic. Unless it's just some tiny, you know, quarter-acre lot somewhere with about 10 vines on it.
I don't see any of these people in Congress and stuff that are multimillionaires. I don't see them as self-made multimillionaires. They didn't work hard. They're not self-made. They're crony-made. And there's a big difference, man. And it's disgusting.
But that's crazy. $30 million. It just seemed to come out of nowhere. What's that?
Sorry about that. The phone was ringing. It was slide into the mixer, so I got it shut off.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
And it's potential,
what in the world?
It's potential spam, of course.
Yeah.
It's the deep state.
But we talk about the cartels and all that stuff. Who's giving her money? Probably it's going to be coming from, you know, the Middle East somewhere. You know, the Kuwaitis, Qatar. Qatar's bought Tucker Carlson whole cloth.
Look, my point is just simple. How did they live with themselves when they didn't earn it, man? I mean, think about it. Do you ever take pride in anything that you didn't earn?
Mhm.
Given, I mean, even like with things that are given to you freely, like a lottery ticket or something. Most people that win it and didn't earn it, it's all gone in a matter of 10 years. And look, I'm all for winning the lottery. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying these people didn't earn it. Not in just ways, not in fair and honest ways. And how do you live with yourself, man? And then you go around bragging and boasting like, oh, look at me. I'm so wealthy. I'm a multimillionaire. Oh, I'm rich. I'm famous. And I got this and that and personal assistants and bodyguards and stuff. But you didn't earn it. You're a slime bag.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the lottery's at 1.4 billion now. If you can run through that in 10 years, man, I want to hang out with you.
I want to party with you.
Yeah, I mean,
it's sort of like the MC Hammer syndrome. He made all that money and he was spending it on everybody, buying everybody cars and houses and you name it.
Yeah.
And he was completely broke before he knew it. And that's just kind of how it works. The money was just coming so easy and just flowing, but he actually did earn it. Unlike the politicians who are not self-made, who are crony-made and corrupt-made. And I have no respect for those people. Zero.
Yeah, exactly. You're just grifting, like Nancy Pelosi beating any and every hedge fund manager in the country on her financial returns. You know,
coincidentally.
It's BS, man. We know you're trading on inside information. It's obvious, and you don't even care that we know.
And every working American is out there busting their butt just to put food on the table, get their medicine to keep coming in, and just survive, man. They can't even go out. Most people can't even go out for a night on the town. It's too expensive.
And it's the reason why I think her portfolio is up to like 400 million now, and it went from like 100 to 400 million in the last couple of years. It's crazy return.
She'll never be able to spend it. She'll never be able to spend that.
But she looks at another 6 years in the Senate and compounds that out, and it's like, wow, we'll be worth $2 billion at that point. Let's just run another term. Let's run it up to 2 billion, and then maybe I'll retire then. Why not just do another 6 years? I don't even have to work out to do anything. Just go and vote a couple of times.
She's up in age to where she could kick over at any point in time. I'm not wishing that upon her. I'm just being honest. And so so what? Let's say she gets $2 billion in 6 years. Okay. Let's say she gets, is she ever going to have the freedom to enjoy that? These Democrat globalist politicians work until the day they die. They don't even understand what it is to want to spend time with family and take vacations and do fun things because they're boring politicians who've sold out to the system, and all they're about is just their persona, their image. They're not living life. They're dead. They're soulless people.
Yeah. And, did you happen to catch any of Patrick Bet-David on the Jubilee where he sat down with 20 socialists?
I missed that. Tell me about
it. It's pretty viral right now. It came out the other day. It was really good. He held himself very, very well. I mean, basically the gist of what the left had to say was communism just doesn't exist anywhere on earth. It's never been tried. It's not that it's been tried and failed. It's just never even been tried. True communism has never even been tried. Okay.
What's their definition of true communism? I'd really like to hear what their true definition is. Did they ever define it?
Yeah, a couple of them had some decent jabs at it. It's hard to lay out because it's so convoluted, but it's like ownership of everything, not necessarily by the government, but by the people. But by the people, they conflate the people individually with the government. And so when you try to put something like that into play, the people don't own that stuff. The government does, and the government then distributes it out. And so you say the people own it because the government owns it. But really, it's the government running everything. And we all know what happens when the government runs everything. You get nothing. You get staggering waste and abuse.
Stuff. We own public parks. We own public tennis courts. I mean, I'm not saying that, we could like rent it out for money to somebody, but we own it in the aspect that we get to use it for free.
Well, there's an interesting case study. I want to say it's Herald Square. No, it's not Herald. It's in the southern bit of Manhattan, I think like just north of Soho, there's a park down there that was leased out to a private contractor to run. You know what I mean? It's like a city, like about the size of a city block, and it's a park, and the city was having so much trouble with it that they just leased it out to a private company. John Stossel did a whole thing about it, and it's the one place in New York where you go in there and the bathrooms are spotless. You know what I mean? They've got all these vendors. They turn a profit with it. They keep it perfectly clean. There's no garbage everywhere. Everything is picked up and painted and perfect, and it's just a raging success.
Because they care for it and they care about it because it's their baby.
Yeah, it's their profit, incentive. It's their. But anyway, why I brought this up in the first place is that people have three reasons for going after insane wealth. Right. One is the money. Right. Two is the power that comes with it. And the three is the legacy and having that legacy to leave behind. Right. And I don't know, what does Nancy Pelosi have left, right? The legacy. She's got to get that somehow. So if you can put, a 2,000 into a foundation with her name on it, maybe it lives on for a while. And
I'm telling you, everything you just said right there is a perfect segue to what I was saying. Perfect segue. You put it into a nutshell even better than what I was trying to say, because that's all they have. They're not living life, dude. They don't care about life. They don't care about having connections with their family, with their wives or their husbands, or going out on a vacation or doing fun stuff. They're just all about their persona, their image, their legacy. That kind of thing is all that matters. So they're basically like drones, or they're basically like, like cyborgs.
Yeah, which is why the Pelosi Act is such a threat to her, because that's her legacy right there. That the bill that stops insider trading in government is named after Pelosi because she was the most prolific person at it. That's your legacy right there, lady.
But she'll be dead, so she won't even know if there is a legacy about her or not.
Well, that's the thing, right? That's why you build a big legacy while you're alive, so that.
But I'm saying, if you're dead, how can you enjoy your quote unquote legacy when you're dead?
Well, like look at Carnegie, right? Or what's his name? Rockefeller, or somebody that started these massive, universities, libraries, schools, you name it, that are named after them, that live on. And so they, when Carnegie died, he knew that he left a legacy that would last 100, 200 years because he built it all in stone and funded it forever.
All right. In my opinion, legacies are built for a reason, not to pump up somebody's name. Legacies are built to pass on some kind of good work that the person left. Let's just take something quite simple, as a matter of fact, like an artist.
Well,
an artist.
Before we do that, I think we have to take a break. We haven't taken a break yet. So, Mark, is that a good sign? Let's take a break right here.
No, you got to take and go another 10 minutes.
Okay.
Because you missed the break.
We'll do it at the 40-minute mark then. Yeah, exactly. I just noticed that. So, Barry, go ahead. I'm sorry if I broke your chain of thought.
Okay, so an artist puts his heart and soul into all of his music and his lyrics, and hopefully those are things that inspire people to go to new heights and try new things. And so that's their legacy. It's not about them. It's about what they left behind for the people to continue to progress humanity. Sure. And that's what a legacy is. But to these people, the globalists, the legacy is about the name, their name, but they're never going to experience the blessing of that because they'll be dead by the time their legacy comes in. And it's not about them. It's about what they did. And what Nancy Pelosi has done is a horrible legacy. It's corruption. Name. That's the legacy she's leaving behind.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. But, it is what it is, right? They're out there doing their thing. And it's scary to watch, but it is, it's what they do.
Well, I mean, I think people should be upset about it, don't you? I mean, people should be angry that their tax dollars are being wasted away. I mean, what's the whole point of having a republic is to have, taxation. We're supposed to have representation with it, but we're not getting that. We are with Trump. Thank God we're getting a little bit of representation, and that's what's firing up the globalists. They are extremely upset that he is bringing back some of the power and leveling the playing field like never before. They want to control everything. They don't want the playing field leveled. They don't want you and me having the same opportunities that they get. They want to control everything while their whole media empire is collapsing. A new media and a new paradigm is rising, and that's what got them so upset. That's why they started censoring everybody that was more popular than they were.
Yeah, it's crazy. They really tried to, and it just didn't work. But I don't know. I wanted to play a second clip here as well regarding that that narco-terrorist boat that was turned into an oil slick. So before we get too far off of that or away from that, I want to just play this other clip. This is from
Rubio says, no mas. Will you act on Venezuelan soil against the Maduro regime?
Well, this is a counter-drug operation. We're going to take on drug cartels wherever they are and wherever they're operating against the interests of the United States.
Former U.S. Army Special Forces and president of World Strat, Jim Hansen. All right, Jim, did you hear the Secretary of State not take strikes inside of Venezuela off the table?
I don't think anything's off the table. And I think anybody who thought that when President Trump designated the drug cartels as terrorists, he was kidding, can take a look at that oil slick in the Caribbean Sea and see what they found out. This is the message to the cartels and to state leaders who coddle them and allow them to operate, that that's no longer a free ride to make money bringing death into the United States.
How robust is this operation going to be?
I think as robust as they need to. I think, it's fun for Maduro and other people to say, oh, we've got Marines, we've got IEDs, we've got these things. They don't have anything that can stand up to the military might of the United States. And I think this is a good start. There will probably be some more object lessons, maybe a drone strike on a lab, something like that. And they're pretty quickly going to find out that we're not going to put up with them making billions of dollars doing human trafficking and killing our own citizens without a very robust response.
Right. And so you have drugs pouring into the country. People are dying. You have Chevron getting screwed around with. And you have a guy down there that's flirting with Putin, flirting with Xi in China. Do you think this kind of operation, if it goes forward, has the support of the American people?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, well, 100%. I have no problem with us going into Mexico and bombing and droning, some facility. We all remember in Breaking Bad when they kidnapped Jesse Pinkman and sent him down to the cartel to cook meth for them down in their lab. Yeah, blow that lab to smithereens. No one's going to bat an eye. It's just another sunny day. That's all it is.
Yep. Well, remember Giuliani put an end to the mob in New York City, and looks like they don't like him too much either, right? They don't like anybody that likes to end crime.
Why not?
That's a good question.
Crime is bad, isn't it? I thought crime was bad.
Well, I guess it's all perspective according to the left, right? Hey, we should just expect some crime. It's a big city. Remember, that's what I think it was the mayor or the governor said, that it's a big city. Of course we're going to have crime. I mean, it's like, actually, you could have almost little to no crime if you just upheld the rule of law. But when you don't uphold the rule of law, it gives a free pass to criminals. They're like, yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and do it because I can get away with it.
And, Japan is a big city. I'm sorry, not Japan, Tokyo. 25 million people in Tokyo.
Right.
It's one of the biggest cities in the world, and it's also one of the safest cities in the world. If you were to fall asleep on the sidewalk in Japan with your wallet on your lap, right, and obviously, visible stacks of cash hanging out of your wallet, you will wake up with your wallet on your lap. No one's going to take it from you in Japan. We had Patty Doyle on the show a while back. He's from Thailand. And he told me a story about how he went to the airport and mistakenly left the key to his motorcycle in the ignition, got on a plane, flew to England, stayed there for like 10, 15 days, came back, and his motorcycle was still sitting there at the airport in the parking lot with the keys in the ignition. Right? That, to us in America, is like, oh my God, I left the keys in the ignition of my motorcycle. You're calling, and you're not even going to check. Before you even, call anybody to drive down there, you're just going to call it in and report it stolen. There's no way it's there.
Exactly.
So we just, high trust societies can happen in big cities.
I think that has to be a little bit to do with their culture, maybe how they're raised. I don't know. I know, like in Japan, like they really treat their elderly with great respect. Here in America, I don't feel like we treat our elderly with respect. I think we see them, at least in a lot of different areas, we see them as expendable. Even in the medical industrial complex, if like Bill Gates said, if one of them, needs a life-saving surgery, but it might only give them 2 or 3 or 4 more years of life, should we, maybe deny them that coverage so that we can give 10 new jobs to teachers or something like that, which makes absolutely no sense. They're just a part of a death cult, and they don't want you to enjoy your family members for another 2 or 4 years. I personally would like to have, if my wife was dying and they said, we can give you this life-saving surgery, she'll be around for possibly another 5 years, maybe even longer. I mean, nobody knows for sure. I would be like, let's do it. I love my wife. I want to spend time with my wife. Every moment matters to me. And sometimes when you know the time is short, you make it more precious. You make it more golden. And so you really savor every single moment. And you're more alive during that time than any other time in your life.
Exactly. And, it's about respect in society. Like I said, it's about going back to the roots, getting down into the schools, tearing them apart, rebuilding them, and producing a generation of kids that are very, very different than who we are, that are just instilled with values and respect, that are taught to share and just be good citizens and respect one another. And I'm not saying every school doesn't do that, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them put out people that come out and are just instantly going to go into crime the minute they quit school or graduate school, in quotes. They're just going to be drawn into a life of crime because what else is there? You see your buddies making, $1,000 a day or a week or whatever, and you're tolling away at some, market, moving pallets around, breaking your back all day, and you make $400 a week. 500 a week, you're making chump change. They're making that every day, slinging drugs. It's just so tempting.
Yeah, they go where somebody says, hey man, I think you have something to contribute. I think you have something to offer. And a lot of times that's a drug dealer, when really the teacher should be saying, hey man, I see so much potential in you, instead of saying, oh, you're a troublemaker, because that's what the parents tell their kid probably. You're a troublemaker. And then that's just embedded in their head. But you look at anybody that comes out of that kind of a mentality, it's usually some mentor in their life that told them, hey, I believe you're capable of doing that.
But anyway,
even you.
Barry, we absolutely have to take a break at this very second. So folks, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
And we are on radio break.
Sorry about that, man.
No, I got it in, dude. So it was just.
I was apologizing to Mark.
We were still over. We were still over, but.
Yeah, and then we get to the second one, and I'm already like going over. I look up and I see 440.
Come on,
I'm like,
come
oh,
on!
crap.
You see me going.
Hey,
come on!
Flyer tonight,
and I'm like,
though, CS.
and then you let Barry talk, and I put my head down. I'm like, oh, there it goes. We just blew it.
That's when he was talking. That's when I looked up at my clock. I was like, oh crap, we got to do this now. Sorry, Barry.
Oh no, man! Hey, I think you're just really on fire tonight, man, and you're kind of losing track because you're really in the zone tonight, man. I've noticed.
Okay.
Good.
I'm not making an excuse for you, man. I'm just saying you're definitely.
John, you are always so on the ball with this stuff. What happened? That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, I don't know. It's hey, man. You do, what are we on, like show 500? I think I've done this maybe twice.
No, I'm just pulling your leg, man. You know I am, but
yeah, it is what it is.
But today, it just seemed like, I don't know. We had kind of an with David Hogg coming in earlier. That was really nice, and it was really good to hear from him. But I don't know it kind of drew some energy out of us too a little bit. I don't know.
You also started the conversation, the pre-show, about 2 minutes late.
Oh yeah, sure. Just call me late on that. Oh yeah, okay.
It kind of crescendoed through the whole thing, and Barry, you agree?
Yeah. All right, Barry. Yeah. Here I am. I had everything up and rolling, and I'm clicking, trying to get you in, and I'm like, ah. And then you're like, hey, I'm here. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, it's the pre-show. I'm like, everything else is rolling. And there's Zeus. Hey,
well,
keep it
all right.
down.
So let's talk about this dude. What's his name? Glinner. He flew to Heathrow and they arrested him for hate speech.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy story because this guy's not British. He's not English. He's Irish. And what he said in the United States. So they just have like, it's shocking. It's shocking that they're going after this guy.
Is he okay? In the UK, they're arresting him, right?
Yeah, well, in England and at Heathrow Airport.
Is he a UK citizen?
No, he's Irish.
This is what we were talking about, dude. We need to really focus in on how we were talking about this very thing, because they tried to do that in the United States. I think it was Michigan, where if you online from another state said anything negative about a transgender or a lesbian or homosexual or anything like that, and what they consider to be negative would be simply there's only two sexes. That would be a hate crime in their viewpoint. That they will have you not extradite is probably not the term, but they'll charge you in Michigan even if you said it in Oklahoma. This is the kind of stuff these people want to do, man. They want to, even where it's legal to have free speech, they want to make it illegal. That's the insane thing. It's really scary, man. I mean, we like you said in the show tonight, we dodged a bullet, man. Because if Kamala came in, people in America would be being extradited to the UK for hate crime.
Could you imagine?
I think it's true.
Yeah. It's just like right now, can Elon Musk safely go to England right now?
I don't think so. Not without massive protection.
Yeah, right.
And they might arrest
anyway,
him.
yeah, let's
protection, right?
Well, anyway, let's cover this.
Well, anyways, you're coming up on your countdown, guys. Because we're under 30 seconds, and here's your countdown: 3, 2, 1, and you're live right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition for September 3rd, 2025. And boy, do we have a lot of stuff going on in the world. Let's see. I want to talk, Barry, about this story in a guy named Glinner landed at Heathrow, and he was met by 5 armed police and arrested immediately afterwards. His crime, 3 gender-critical tweets. He tweeted, quote, "In a country where pedophiles escape sentencing, where knife crime is out of control, where women are assaulted and harassed every time they gather to speak, the state had mobilized 5 armed officers to arrest a comedy writer." Sorry, that's not his quote. That's another quote. I thought that was his quote. I'm sorry. But yeah, in other words, let's see. This article doesn't have his actual tweet in it. I apologize. When I saw that quote, I thought I was reading what he said, but it did have something to do with genders, transgenders, and how, it's crazy. But here's the kicker about this guy, okay? This guy is a citizen of Ireland, which is not part of the UK. Ireland is an independent country that is part of the EU, right? They use the euro. They're part of the EU. When Brexit went down, Ireland said, no, we're not part of the UK. We're not part of this. We're staying in the EU. See you later if you want to leave. So this is a guy who is not from England. He's not even from the UK. He's from Ireland. When he was in America, he wrote these tweets. It was about 5 months ago that he wrote these tweets. Then he went to Heathrow to fly into London to do a show or whatever. And 5 armed officers met him at the gate and arrested him for hate speech. It is out of control. Where's the jurisdiction? They have no jurisdiction over what he said in a different country, and he's not even one of their citizens. So this means that an American, anybody in the world, Canada, Mexico, wherever, if you say something that they don't like and you fly into Heathrow, they can arrest you and try you for hate speech. And Barry, you and I were talking about this before the show. Does this mean that, like, if you're Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, would you even go to Heathrow Airport and into London today under these circumstances?
Well, not with all the truthful things that he's spoken on X. Just the last week, he's made multiple posts about, all kinds of things that they would consider to be questionable.
Oh, the St. George flag. He's posted in front of it and said, raise the colors.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That is, it's really getting out of control. Did you see the lady from the Pink Moms or whatever they're called over there, where, she was in Eppington and she called on everyone to not pay their council taxes, to boycott it, to send a message. And then she climbed up on some stairwell and hung a Union Jack flag, and boom, they arrested her. The minute she dropped that edge, they put her in handcuffs and marched her away for aggressively protesting.
They hate patriotism. They hate patriotism because they want you to be loyal to the world government. Just like Superman in the comic book, over a decade ago, he gave up his American citizenship to become a global citizen. That's what's happening there. They don't want you to have national pride or nationalism because they want to destroy it. And the worst part about all of what you've just said to me, and I'm looking into it a little bit deeper, is if Ireland truly stood for free speech, they would not allow that to happen. But they're going to allow it to happen because they're just as bad as the UK.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if this was a U.S. citizen, Trump would be on the phone with them. If this was some comedian from America, I don't know, James Woods, right?
He demanded they bring him back immediately. Immediately.
Yeah. Let's just say this was James Woods, because that's a really good, he could potentially instantly be arrested stepping foot in the UK into, England. Trump would be on the phone with them tomorrow going, what are you doing? Are you out of your brains? Like, how stupid are you? We want him back now on a first-class flight, on one of the Queen's jets, first class, right over here.
Yeah. And not just beer nuts, man. I want you to treat him with respect. Give him a full 5-course meal.
Well, put him on the actual Queen's airplane,
Yeah, exactly.
Or the Kings now, I guess. They got a king over there now.
Yeah.
Which is a joke. Don't get me started on King Charles. I mean, that guy.
Exactly.
We look at all these things and we say, England has voted over and over and over to get rid of these people, to start over, stop the migration, and yet the government doesn't do anything. And yet they have a king over there. And he seems to be more enamored with the Muslim society in the UK than he is with the Christian society, or that he's, the head of the English church, or the Church of England. He seems to be more dedicated to the Muslim cause than the Christian cause in England. And I wonder if this comes from on high, if this has been coming from the royal palace for years now to say, yes, we need to flood the country with Muslims. We fundamentally want to change England into a Muslim country because, I don't know, he went to Dubai a couple of years ago and somebody convinced him this is the best way.
Yeah. If you look at Hollywood's, what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of the dystopian type films that they've made over the years. A lot of them have mass immigration being a big, big problem. And then there's martial law in place, a police state in place. And that's where all that leads, is they want to get so bad that they have to bring in martial law and a police state. And we got a glimpse of that in New York City when things were really getting out of hand, that they actually had to bring in armed National Guard with, very heavy artillery to, maintain the peace, so to speak, in where the subway was. And that they wanted to get it so bad that they bring in martial law. And so that's part of the big global plan, is collapse everything, bring in martial law, and then usher in their Great Reset or the liberal world order. I mean, it's a diabolical plan that's so easy to understand, and it's been shown to us multiple times in movies. And where do they get these ideas for movies? Well, they get them from real things. They get them from real ideas and real concepts. They're not just made up out of thin air.
Exactly. And I'll tell you, in the couple minutes we got left, there was a press conference the other day from a bunch of Epstein's victims. And they came out, I wish we had time to play this clip, but they came out and said, we know the names, and we're going to compile and release our own list of the clients who sexually abused them. They're like, we don't care if they're billionaires, millionaires, royalty, whatever, we're releasing the names.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes down. I mean, they're opening themselves up for such big lawsuits.
I'm telling you, well, worse than that, CS, they're opening themselves up to possible being suicided. They're going to need protection, man, and prayer. We got to pray for these people that they will have protection, because the moment that they get ready to release that stuff, you'll see, just like you see in places all over the world where things are about to get shaken up, people just all of a sudden start mysteriously disappearing or mysteriously dying. It happens like clockwork all the time.
We just had 7 members of the AfD in Germany die in the last week or two mysteriously.
Yep.
You know, somebody took a pop shot at President Trump last summer in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Another
very real, and that's the scary part. And they need protection. They need to have security. They need bodyguards. They need maybe they need to go into protective custody, because that's just too hot of material to have.
Oh, I know. If they start naming names and say Bill Gates, comes up on there, it's it's suicide, man. You're going to really name that guy? You're going to name Prince Edward? You're going to name just name powerful billionaires, royalty. That's you're asking for trouble, man. You are. But it's a beautiful thing. America will love you for it. We will love you. We will support you. Start GoFundMe's for your security, and you'll see millions pouring.
Yeah, that's an option. Dude, they could raise some money and just to have the security, the personal security.
Yeah. Oh, if they're like, hey, I need $2 million for security for the next 2 years, they'll get that money in like 4 days.
Yeah, they would have more than enough money so quickly, dude.
Because that's what the people want. But anyway, folks, we are all out of time. This has been the Censorship Sucks Roundtable radio show. We will see you on Sunday night, but stay tuned for much more content from our producer, Dragus Productions, right after this message. We'll be right back.
All right. Great show, guys. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening out there.
You tied that in.
I'm going to wait a little bit here and then jump over and get Jack on the call. And then we'll get going. Yep. Show went really good.
I missed the clip here from Scott Jennings where he calls Tim Walz a piece of shit.
Yeah, I saw that.
I wish I'd have played
so
that.
upset on CNN that he said that. They were so upset about it.
And then I've got a Stephen Colbert clip here where he told the audience that Trump wasn't really dead, and they all started booing. And he's like, no, we like our presidents alive. He's, that's, we like, in other words, he had to tell his audience, hey, man, don't, wish for the president's death. I don't know. It's no wonder the guy's losing his show.
Yeah, that's just not cool.
Some sort of card come up or display, boo or clap. I mean, I don't think it's really good.
Yeah.
All right.
I've never been, so I can't say.
I'll catch up with you guys later on. Take care. And we'll see you later on, and I'll get this up and out like I